really say there's two primary reasons we created this title. And one of them is that we both have taught intro psychology for a really long time. And semester after semester, we discovered that our students really hit the same difficult spots every time in every chapter. And so one of the reasons we wanted to develop this title is that we had felt like there was an opportunity to help students with difficult concepts that we know they're going to struggle with in the text itself. So we developed adaptive pathways so that students could get some help with difficult concepts in the moment while they're reading.
And the other thing that was really exciting to us was the opportunity to develop what we call a digital first product. So we actually built this title in the digital environment, and we have a lot more options available to us in the digital world. So we're really able to apply what we know from learning science in terms of how students learn to figuring out the best ways to teach these concepts. And in the digital environment, we can do that through various interactives and videos, and of course, adaptive pathways as well. So that part's been really exciting for us. One of the ways that I think students have really changed in the last few years is that they just live in a digital world, kind of like we do, and they really expect everything to be available to them on their phones. And so we really love the Revel app for that reason, because they don't necessarily have to be at their computer. They don't have to carry a textbook around. They can, when they're in between classes, read a module, do a quiz, engage with an interactive, and actually learn on the go, which is really conducive to their lifestyle.
And I really feel like as an instructor ourselves and in talking to other instructors that we have all struggled with these instructor resource manuals that were like these giant books that you were flipping through desperately to try to find something. And so I think instructors are also wanting things that are easy to access, quick to learn and implement in your own class. And so one of the things that we did is develop instructor resources with every chapter having a video of that activity being conducted in a real class. So we've never had that as instructors ourselves. And there were so many questions when you read about it, like how does that work and what does that look like? And so we provided these videos so that you could pick up on an activity that you want to do, watching a 2-minute video that demonstrates how this is done in a small class or a large class.
We have always been really excited about the adaptive pathways in our intro psychology text. It's a way for the students to engage with difficult concepts and get the right help at the right time. So at the time when they're reading about something that we know is traditionally difficult for them, they can actually get some help from an instructor right on the spot. So the way adaptive pathways work is students first encounter what we call a pinpoint question. So this is trying to pinpoint if a student has this particular misconception. If the student gets the answer to that correct, then they move on to the next misconception in that topic. But if they do answer the question incorrectly, then that tells us that they're having some trouble with that concept. And so they're immediately delivered a 2-minute or less whiteboard animation video where both Brooke and I scripted all of these videos ourselves and helped produce them, where we're really using our teacher voice as a way of trying to explain this concept. So it's not the same explanation as they just read in the text. It's a new explanation and it's in our own voice. And then they're provided with a follow-up question. It's about the same topic, but it's a different question. And we actually empirically tested all of these questions to make sure that they were roughly equal in difficulty level. And that's the way of kind of checking, like, do they understand that now? And so each chapter has a number of adaptive pathways and misconceptions in each one. And so we've always been really excited about that.
And then what has just happened that we've been waiting for since the title published is that these are now assignable and gradable in Revel, which is what we wanted from the beginning. We just know that our students don't tend to do things when they're optional. And so now an instructor has choice in terms of how they want to assign them or not assign them within Revel, within a chapter of Revel. So an instructor can decide that they want to assign these for participation points, meaning if they complete the adaptive pathway, they get full credit. Or the instructor can decide to assign them for actual credit based on their answer. And that's always based on that follow-up question. So if everyone gets the initial pinpoint question incorrectly, no one would be penalized, and you would only lose points if you get the follow-up question incorrect. And so we like the idea of having a lot of choice as an instructor about how you want to grade those and if you decide to do that as well.
And I think there's always a fine balance with choice, because we want to provide some options, but we also don't want to be overwhelming with the number of choices that you have to make. So this seems like the perfect amount, because this is something that we've developed to really help students. So we really want to incentivize that behavior for them to spend time in those adaptive pathways so they can really get all the help that they need.